Short. Strong. Espresso English.
Fuel your day. Let's learn.
Imagine you just arrived in a new city. You drop off your luggage and pull out your plan for the day, every minute packed from museums to cafes with no breaks at all. How does that make you feel?
Honestly, that's me every time. Super excited, but also kind of overwhelmed. I don't want to miss a thing, but I also feel the pressure building up fast.
Spot on! This episode tackles exactly that feeling, the struggle between having a packed schedule and just letting unexpected things happen.
And we're going to dive into why people feel the need to control travel plans so tightly and how that ties into deeper ideas about control in life.
This is a B1 level episode perfect for intermediate learners. If you're just starting out, you're welcome here too. We'll keep it clear and natural.
Quick question. When you travel, do you usually plan every detail or leave room for surprises? Say pack schedule or let unexpected happen.
I'm guessing some of you love knowing exactly where you're going, while others enjoy chasing little discoveries.
There's one thing we discovered that might change the way you think about your next trip. And it's not just about travel.
Yep, it's about how you face change and uncertainty in life, whether you grab tight or decide to let go.
And later on, we'll share a tiny trick with a deep breath. Something simple you can use anytime to handle surprise moments calmly.
Right now, I bet some of you are mixing up your coffee or scrolling on your phone while listening to us talk about travel plans.
Or maybe you're actually dreaming about your next adventure, thinking about all those places you want to visit.
Either way, stay tuned. We'll explore why you might feel overwhelmed with too much to do or why letting go is harder than it sounds.
And later, we'll give you one tiny trick that makes surprises easier to enjoy. But first, let's get into the heart of this question.
I had a trip like this in Lisbon. My day started with a packed schedule, and I'd already mapped out breakfast, a museum, lunch, and a sunset view. Before I even left the hotel, I felt weirdly tense, like the whole day was holding its breath.
That is painfully relatable. A packed schedule can feel productive at first, but it also turns travel into a race, and nobody books a flight to feel like a delivery driver.
Exactly, and the strange part was that I kept checking the clock even while eating. I wasn't tasting the coffee, I wasn't seeing the street music, and I was getting more and more overwhelmed with every tiny delay.
That overwhelmed feeling is the clue. When the brain thinks there's too much to do, it treats the day like a threat, even if the threat is just a long line for tickets.
So I started rushing. I almost skipped a small side street because it wasn't on the plan. But then something unexpected happened. A local artist was painting on the wall, and people had stopped just to watch.
And that's the magic. The unexpected often gives you the best memory because your brain stops performing and starts paying attention.
I wish I could say I became a calm, wise traveler right there. But no, I still wanted control. I still wanted to squeeze in every famous place because I was scared I'd miss the real trip.
That fear makes sense. A lot of people think if they relax, they'll waste time, but sometimes a packed schedule wastes more energy than it saves.
I remember sitting on a bench and thinking, why am I doing this to myself? I had the map, the reservations, the backup plan, and still I felt like the day was slipping away.
That's where the control problem starts. We plan to feel safe, but too much planning can create more pressure, and then every small change feels huge.
Like when your lunch place is closed, and suddenly your whole personality leaves your body.
Exactly. You freeze, you sweat a little, and then you spend 10 minutes deciding whether to walk 3 blocks or ruin the universe.
That sounds dramatic, but it's true. The mind loves certainty, so when it doesn't get it, it acts like a tiny alarm system.
And this is where control meets curiosity. If you always force the day to obey, you may never discover the little cafe, the street musician, or the quiet park that wasn't on any app.
Discover is such an interesting word here. It's not only about finding something new outside, It's also about finding out what kind of traveler you are when things shift.
Right. Some people discover they hate chaos. Some people discover they're happier with space. And some people discover they can actually enjoy both.
I think I'm the third type, but I don't trust it yet. I still feel that pull to fill every gap because empty space makes me nervous.
That's why the feeling overwhelmed matters so much. Once you notice it, you can ask whether your plan is helping you enjoy the trip or just making you perform it.
And by the way, there is a phrase for this. It's called to let go. We'll break it down later. But in the story, it starts the moment you stop gripping the day so tightly.
Not giving up, just loosening your hand a little. That's a big difference.
So maybe the question isn't pack schedule or surprise. Maybe it's how much control do I need before control starts stealing the fun?
That's the real question. And in the next part, we'll push that idea a lot further. Because I'm not fully convinced the loose plan wins every time. I still think a packed schedule is the safer choice. When I travel, I want to know what's next. Because if I don't, I start feeling overwhelmed very fast.
I get that, but I don't buy the idea that control always equals safety. A trip can look perfect on paper and still feel empty if you're rushing from one place to another.
But what if the unexpected is just wasted time? You wait in line, miss the museum, and end up sitting around hungry? That doesn't sound like freedom. It sounds like bad planning.
I hear you, but you're missing the whole picture. The goal isn't to abandon planning completely. It's to leave space for something you can't predict, because that's often where you discover the best parts of a trip.
Sure, but a packed schedule protects you from regret. If I'm in a city for 3 days, I don't want to go home and think, I could have done more. That feeling sticks with you.
And yet that same feeling can trap you. You end up treating every hour like a test, and then the trip starts to feel like work. At that point, even a beautiful street can feel stressful.
But isn't that just part of being serious about travel? People save money, book flights, and wait months. Why wouldn't they want every minute accounted for?
Because life isn't a spreadsheet. A packed schedule can give you structure, yes, but it can also make you too rigid to notice what's actually in front of you. A tiny bakery, a local musician, a conversation with a stranger.
Okay, but those moments sound nice only after the fact. In real time, you don't know they matter. In real time, you just know your stomach is growling and your next booking is in 20 minutes.
That's true. And that's why flexibility has to be planned too. You don't just wander forever. You create a little room so the day can breathe, and so you can let go when something better shows up.
Let go sounds nice, but people hear it and think, lose control. And for a lot of travelers, losing control feels like losing value. They worry they're being lazy or careless.
I disagree with that framing. Letting go isn't careless. It's selective. You still care, you still plan, but you stop gripping every detail like it's the only way to make the trip meaningful.
But what if I let go and miss the big sight? What if the one famous landmark is closed the one day I'm nearby? That would be frustrating.
Then you adapt. That's the real skill. If the landmark is closed, maybe you discover a neighborhood market, or you sit in a park and notice how the city actually sounds. Unexpected doesn't always mean worse.
You make it sound poetic, but people don't always feel poetic when they're tired. Sometimes they just want a clean plan and a quiet dinner.
Absolutely, and that's why the answer isn't no plan. It's balance. A packed schedule can be useful, but if it makes you feel overwhelmed, the schedule is managing you instead of helping you.
So you're saying the real question isn't should I plan? It's how much control is enough before it starts costing me joy.
Exactly. That's the better question. A trip should give you memories, not just completed tasks. And sometimes the memory comes from the thing you never intended to do.
I can see that. I still like lists though. If I don't write things down, my brain turns into a noisy train station.
Same here, actually. But a list can be a map, not a prison. You can plan 3 key things, then leave 1 window open for surprise.
Okay, that sounds more realistic. You keep your structure, but you don't panic if the day changes. That feels less like chaos and more like confidence.
And that confidence grows when you trust yourself to handle the unexpected. You don't need to control every second to enjoy the trip or your life.
Wow, that got deep very fast. I came here to argue for hotel bookings, and now I'm questioning my whole personality.
Good. Healthy discomfort is useful. And by the way, this is exactly the kind of idea that connects to our word tour later, because there's a phrase for building a schedule without losing your mind.
So we're not just talking about travel anymore. We're talking about how people react when life doesn't match the plan.
Right. And that reaction tells you a lot. Some people tighten up, some people resist, and some people slowly learn to let go. Not all at once, but one decision at a time.
That feels more honest than pretending everyone loves surprises. Some people really do feel overwhelmed by too many options.
Exactly. And that's why the solution isn't to shame the planner. It's to notice when planning becomes a shield and when it becomes a cage.
Okay, I'll admit it. A little surprise might be worth the risk if it gives you a better story.
And sometimes that better story starts when you stop trying to force every moment and allow the day to unfold. We've talked a lot about the stress of having a packed schedule and the fear of letting go.
Yeah, it's clear that both sides come from wanting the best experience, just different ways of handling it.
Now, to help you sound natural when discussing this, we're moving into our word tour.
We'll take a closer look at 5 key phrases we use that capture these feelings perfectly.
Get ready to learn how to describe being overwhelmed, or discovering something unexpected, and more.
Let's break them down together so you can use them with confidence next time you talk about travel or life surprises.
Earlier, we kept circling the same feeling. That tight, busy travel plan that leaves no room to breathe. When I hear packed schedule, I picture a day that's stuffed from breakfast to bedtime.
Exactly. A packed schedule is a plan that's very full or busy. And in travel, it can feel efficient at first, but it can also feel heavy. For example, my trip had a packed schedule. Short, clear, natural.
And the interesting part is that some people love that structure. They feel safer when every hour has a purpose. Others hear packed schedule and instantly feel tense, like their brain's already checking boxes before the day even starts.
Yeah, and the sentence doesn't need to be fancy. You could say, I've got a packed schedule today, and everyone understands that your day is already full. Maybe too full. That's the vibe.
Now compare that with unexpected. This one changes the whole mood. An unexpected moment is something not planned or known before it happens, like turning a corner and finding live music in a tiny square.
Right, and the word often carries that little spark of surprise. You can say, we had an unexpected delay, or we found an unexpected cafe. Same word, totally different feeling depending on the context.
I love that one because it can be annoying or wonderful. An unexpected rainstorm is not fun if you forgot an umbrella, but an unexpected conversation with a local can become the best memory of the trip.
That's the thing I keep learning the hard way. I want control. Then travel hands me an unexpected detour, and suddenly I'm the guy standing there pretending that was the plan all along.
That's where to let go comes in. It means to stop trying to control something. In travel, it's not giving up. It's relaxing your grip a little so you can actually notice what's in front of you.
Exactly. You can say, I had to let go of my perfect plan. That line sounds simple, but emotionally it's huge. It means you stopped fighting reality and started working with it.
And people hear let go and think it means chaos, but it doesn't. It can mean giving yourself permission to keep one afternoon open or accepting that the best day might not match the itinerary.
Like when the museum line is endless, and instead of suffering dramatically, you let go and wander somewhere else. That's not failure. That's flexibility with better lighting.
Then we get to discover. This one is beautiful because it's active, not passive. To discover means to find or learn something new, often when you're not forcing it.
Yes, you can discover a hidden bakery, a quiet street, or even your own patience. We discovered a little bookstore. That's a tiny sentence, but it carries a whole mood.
And I think that's why travelers love it. You don't just see places, you discover them. That word feels personal, like the place is slowly opening up to you, one detail at a time.
And sometimes the discovery is internal. You realize you're calmer than you thought or braver than you thought because the plan changed and you didn't fall apart.
Finally, there's to feel overwhelmed. This one is important because it describes the emotional overload when there's too much to do. It's that crowded feeling in your head when every choice feels urgent.
Exactly. You can say, I felt overwhelmed by all the options. Or, she felt overwhelmed when the day got too full. It's a very honest phrase, and people use it all the time.
And notice how it's different from simply being busy. You can be busy and still feel okay, but when the pressure stacks up, when every minute is booked, that's when you feel overwhelmed.
So, if we pull these together, a packed schedule can create pressure. Unexpected moments can shake the plan. Letting go can ease the tension. Discovering can bring joy, and feeling overwhelmed reminds you where the limit is.
That's why these 5 words fit this episode so well. They're not just travel vocabulary. They're emotional vocabulary, too.
And if you use them in real life, they'll help you describe not only what happened, but how it felt. That's the real upgrade.
Your turn in your own head. I had a packed schedule, then something unexpected happened and I had to let go. That sentence already sounds like a story.
Exactly. And stories are how language sticks. Keep these phrases close and they'll show up when you need them.
So today we've explored a pretty universal struggle, whether to keep a packed schedule when traveling or to let unexpected moments guide you. It's more than just planning trips, it's how we handle control and uncertainty in life.
Right. We talked about how having a full busy plan can sometimes make us feel overwhelmed, while allowing surprises can be scary but also rewarding. Finding that balance is the real key.
If you want to try this yourself, here are a couple of quick tips. 1. Aim for about 80% planned activities and leave 20% of your time open for spontaneous discoveries.
2. Whenever you feel stressed about something unexpected, pause and take a deep breath for 3 seconds. Let this remind you that surprises might actually be hidden opportunities.
I remember my last trip where I planned almost every moment perfectly, until a sudden rainstorm forced me to change plans. Instead of panicking, I decided to let go and explore a local bookshop. That unexpected detour became my favorite memory.
That example hits home for me too. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means opening the door to new experiences we didn't imagine. It's the heart of travel and, frankly, life.
So, why not experiment next time you travel? Try slowing down the urge to control every detail and see what you might discover when you simply let go a little.
And if you like today's episode, stay tuned because we'll soon explore how to apply these ideas beyond travel to work, relationships, and daily challenges.
Thanks for listening with us today. Before you go, we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments, when was a time you felt overwhelmed by plans and how did you handle it?
We read every single comment and love learning from your stories. Thanks so much for joining us and see you next time.
Take care.
Bye for now.